Good morning, good evening, good day, and welcome to the biggest day on the football calendar. It is, in fact, Super Bowl Sunday. My name is Shane Harris. Oliver Butler Henderson is the other side. Oliver is that side. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived. How are we feeling, boys? Happy Super Bowl Sunday.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday, everyone. I feel like we've been waiting all year for this, and then the Niners got knocked out.
Much to the happiness of half this NFL.
Yeah, I feel outnumbered without my Niner buddy Phil here today.
He's on holiday. He's on.
I am so glad it is no Niners in the podcast this year, in the Super Bowl this year.
Oh yeah, if we won the Super Bowl, we'd be insufferable for the entire off season.
Now we just got to work on being no Niners in the podcast. Ollie, and we're sorted.
Oh God, yeah.
Hey, I'm a co-founder. You can't get rid of me that easily.
Oh yes, how good is it to finally reach Super Bowl weekend, Super Bowl Sunday?
I always find Super Bowl
it's going to be a good Super Bowl.
I always find it kind of bittersweet though, because from now until September, there's no NFL.
Yeah, we'll have to do with XFL, which we are going to loosely cover during the off season to keep us something to talk about.
We got free agent frenzy, we got the draft, we got camps and OTAs and all that, I guess.
Oh yes, this is going to be a really good Super Bowl. I'm really looking forward to it. It looks like it should be a very high scoring game. You know, you've got the two number one seeds going head to head, which is a rarity in the Super Bowl, to be fair.
And we've got MVP against runner up in the MVP.
Yeah.
It's basically the faces of each conference. You know, for the AFC, you've got probably the best quarterback there is at the moment in Patrick Mahomes, and for the NFC, it is probably the second most electric athlete in the NFC. In the entire NFL, in Jalen Hurts.
I agree with you, but for the AFC, but I don't think Jalen Hurts is the face of the NFC.
Who is the face of the NFC then?
Go on, man.
I don't know who is, but I don't think it's Jalen Hurts.
Well, he'll be on the cover of Madden before Brock Purdy. Let me tell you.
I'm not trying to claim Brock Purdy's the face of the NFC.
The one thing that is really baffled me, like they've said a lot these last 2 weeks, that it's the first Super Bowl with two black quarterbacks.
Yes.
You know, yes, it's Black History Month in America. It's a massive thing. You know, I've just been watching the NBA, and both teams got Black History T-shirts all over them, and all the players and all that. So it's quite fitting that the first time we've had two black NFL quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks, start in the NFL in the Super Bowl during Black History Month. Pretty impressive. It's almost like it's been scripted.
Let's not say.
Don't talk about scripted. If it finishes 37-34 to the Eagles,
you've ruined one of my bets there.
Yeah, it's.
What I'm saying is, if that script had been leaked and it's true, Goodell will change the script.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The thing is, though, right? Last week, about if it was scripted, you wouldn't have all these players going, "Yeah, it ain't." They would have gone mouth shut and hidden, but they've gone, "No, this is stupid." You know, can't script for injuries and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. But this game's going to be brilliant. You know, you've got one of the most mind-blowingly skillful quarterbacks in the league, and one of the most up-and-coming quarterbacks in the league. You know, Jalen Hurts. This is his third season in the league. And this season, he's taken the biggest jump I've seen in a quarterback in history, and I'm kind of hoping Mac takes that jump next season.
I'd just like to clarify that since the start of this podcast, back in 2021, I've been on the Hurts bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd now like to open the bandwagon for anybody else to come jump on with me.
I haven't. I didn't think he was that good, but it just shows what hard work has done, and the right coaching team has done, and the right targeting has done.
Danny Banak's just come in saying Chiefs win easy 38-23 with Jerick
McKinnon MVP.
Are you kidding? Wow.
Not a
That's
bad
an
shout.
interesting
Nice. I
bet.
like that one. That's a nice outside bet. I like that one. Yeah, it just showed, like I say, it just shows what hard work does and dedication and the right coaching, the right team work you have around you and the right receivers. It just shows what it can be done. And their draft board as well. If you look at the draft board, all bar AJ Brown over the last 10 years is their first round picks.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's
but and
incredible.
also if you think about it, AJ Brown was pretty much a first round pick because of the trade.
Yeah.
Kinda.
So it's brilliant. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love this. Where are we gonna have it win? Ollie, you've got some interesting information regarding wide receivers and against the cornerbacks. Let's have a little bit of a matchup on that one.
Phil's just said, hey all, for life from
Hi.
Amsterdam. Okay, so I'll start with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Obviously, we know the stats. AJ Brown's here, 88 receptions, 149, 6 yards, 11 touchdowns. Devontae Smith, 95 catches for 1196 yards. So obviously these are two very, very high quality wide receiver. Hi Drew, hope you're having a good night and looking forward to the Super Bowl.
Young Neil, catch you in a bit.
The Javarius Sneed recovering from concussion protocols and playing, I think, is massive for the Chiefs because he is a top quality cornerback that will be having to cover AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. 108 tackles this year, 3.5 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 3 forced fumbles for a cornerback is massive. Trent McDuffie is obviously a rookie, and he's going to have to cover whichever one the various need isn't covering. He's only made 46 solo tackles this year, 1 sack, no interceptions, 1 forced fumble. And not only the cornerbacks, I think the safeties will be massive with Justin Reed and Juan Thornhill. I honestly think this is the biggest matchup in the NFL because AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are electric. They're quick, and if the Eagles D can lock them up, then I think that that could be where it's won and lost.
Yeah, I mean those two. I mean, obviously you've got Dallas Goedert in the tight end position from that area there, but if you could take out your main two in the air threats, that's a lot of work for Goedert. I'm not saying Quentin Watkins or Greg Ward or even Zach Pascal is going to be able to hide in the shadows, but they need to step up themselves.
Yeah.
But the fact, it's if you take out Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, that team will struggle.
So looking at the other side, I've not included Kelsey in this because at tight ends I'm looking at wide receivers. So the two main wide receivers I've chosen to focus on with McCall Hardman out, which I think is a massive loss for the Chiefs. I've got Valdez-Scantling and Juju Smith-Schuster. So this year, Scantling's had 42 catches for 687 yards and 2 touchdowns. Juju, 78 catches, 933 yards and 3 touchdowns, which actually, in terms of yards, is best year. Which is interesting because I thought he'd been targeted more in Pittsburgh. However, there's a reason the Eagles were such a good defense this year, and their DBs are top quality. I mean, Darius Slay and Bradbury at cornerback, and CJ Gardner-Johnson, Marcus Epps at safety and cornerback and safety. So Darius Slay, 70 tackles with 3 interceptions this year. Bradbury, who of course got cut by the Giants, which was an interesting decision at the time, has had 49 tackles with 3 interceptions. And they're going to be, I think they probably have an easier job than their counterparts for KC because as good as MVS and Juju are, I don't think they're the same level as Devontae Smith and And then CJ Gardner-Johnson, 73 tackles, 1 sack, 6 interceptions this year. And Marcus Epps has had 118 tackles. They're going to have to help out, but I think their eyes are probably going to be mainly on a tight end named Travis Kelce, because no matter how many people you seem to put in him, he always seems to be open. I think the reason I chose this battle is because I think both sides, whoever wins the battle could be who wins the game. And I know you guys focused on other battles too. So I think, Ollie, you went O-line and D-line?
I did, yeah. That is down the trenches where it is. You've got Philadelphia Eagles, who had 67 sacks in the regular season, against Kansas City, who had 57 sacks across the season. You know, Eagles led the pressure in the NFL. They are one of the most top teams, you know, against a team that has gave up a fair few sacks. Mahomes has been hit quite a bit this year, which is unlike this Chiefs O-line. In week 18, I think it was, when Chiefs played Raiders, Max Crosby got more pressures against Andrew Willie, the right tackle, than any other right tackle in the league. That is a pressure. I mean, obviously, Willie surrounded 40. He's had 9 sacks and 49 pressures against him this season. Against someone who's like Harrison Ruddock, who is obviously Eagles' #1 rush attack.
Watch out, he tends to injure your quarterback.
Yeah, 16 tackles. He's had 16 sacks this season. You know, we're saying that their sacks are ridiculous. You've got 4 players over 10 sacks this season. You know, you've got both the defensive tackles defensive end in Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham. Who's the other one? I can't think of the other one's name off the top of my head. Where's it gone?
Fletcher Cox.
No, it's actually Javen Hargreave, who've had 11 sacks each this season.
It's crazy. Their D-line is crazy.
You know, they are built to pressure, built to go after that quarterback. And like you said, they've got brilliant secondaries in there this year. But that O-line is really, really good. You know, they're ranked the #1 O-line in the offense in the league. You know, Lane Johnson hasn't allowed a sack or a hit all season from the right tackle, from the right tackle side. And then you've got the Jordan Metellio, who is the former New Zealand Rugby League player who came across in the NFL on the international pathway in 2017. Not even known the sport, anything like that. Went to the Pro Bowl this year. He is now classed as one of the best left guards in the league. If you can get to these quarterbacks, which both teams can do, when you've got the likes of Chris Johnson on the Kansas side and all that, and obviously the multiple pressures they can get from the Philadelphia side, that is how you win this game, by getting into that quarterback. We know how good these are around the pocket. Keep them in the pocket. Get after the quarterback. That's how you win the end of this.
Yeah, I read a stat today actually that said that Mahomes' QB rank rating is one of the worst when being pressured.
Yeah, get after it. I mean, look what Tampa did in 2021 in that Super Bowl against Kansas.
Yeah.
Get Mahomes running. Yes, okay, he is still a threat when he's outside the pocket. But if you get him running and going in outside that pocket, it's going to get a bit tetchy, and that's how you win this. And don't forget, he's still got a high ankle sprain. Down to you, Shane, who's battling the quarterbacks.
Yeah. Firstly, before we continue, let me give a quick shout out to my buddy Kurt Hamer, who is actually tuning in to the podcast for the first time this evening. Kurt, thank you, and I will catch you in a bit. Secondly, I think that this game will be won and lost with the quarterbacks, obviously. With the likes of Mahomes, who is the heir apparent to Tom Brady's crown as the face of this league. He's done it all before. He's seen it all before. And I think he basically passed for 2 seconds. I will get the information up now. He passed for 12. No, something to lie. He passed for 41 touchdowns this regular season and 4 in the postseason. He got picked off 12 times. It goes to show that he's not infallible, but he's also got a good O-line around him as well to sort of protect him. And like you said, Ollie, the thing is, from what we learned from the Tampa Super Bowl a few years ago, if you keep him on the run, he's obviously going to be less accurate. So if they keep him in the pocket, he'll have a field day this evening. And on to Jalen Hurts, who again...
just to quickly interrupt you, Dusty Hole has come up saying bit like a night flight orchestra.
I love that one.
Very good. Cheers, Ash. Very good. Yeah. So with regarding Jalen Hurts, like Ollie said, he's probably comeback player of the year because last year he didn't do a lot. This year he's been incredible. You know, he's going to be the face of this Eagles franchise for a long time. This is where they will be won and lost. He threw for 22 touchdowns this season and got picked off 6 times. So it just goes to show that he is capable of it as well. But I think, like you said, Ollie Hope, like you said, I think the Eagles have the better receiving core. So
Shane, I've got a question. I've got a question for you though. Obviously, both of the quarterbacks are a bit banged up because Mahomes has his ankle and Hurts has his shoulder. Do you think either of these injuries are going to affect the quarterbacks?
I think this is the biggest stage. And these quarterbacks may never get there again in their life. I think they're going to play through the pain. As professionals, I think they're going to play through the pain. But then you are correct. Would it affect their performance, both physically? You know, mentally they're strong. Mentally they want to do it. But will their body hold out? Time will tell. That'll be an interesting factor as the game gets on and goes longer. You will see how these injuries affect these players. That's a very good point.
Nice.
It's interesting because obviously Mahomes' mobility is a big part of his game, and Jalen Hurts has said that his shoulder's sore, but obviously they've not played for 2 weeks. Has that given them enough time to heal?
Exactly, it's just sore. It's not fractured, not broken.
Yeah.
No muscle injury, just a bit sore. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes. I saw Mahomes' interview earlier on. He's saying that I've gone through rehab. I've learned to adapt how I can play. So I have zero limitations. I'm using my baseball background to understand different ways of throwing the ball, using the ball, so I can still move at full effect, which is scary for the Eagles because Mahomes is a hell of a player. He's a magician with that ball in his hand. But if you can ruffle his feathers and get him running around, I mean, you've been on the end of one of his comebacks. I've been on the end of one of his comebacks. It happened to you in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Wasp.
So, yeah.
I just like to clarify on that Wasp play, Bosa was being held. Not that I'm bitter.
No, honest.
Players get held week in and week out and he gets missed every game.
If Garoppolo hadn't just overthrown Emmanuel Sanders, then he would have caught the ball, it would have been a touchdown, and we'd have won the game. Not that, it plays on my mind much.
But like I say all the time, but if wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean. Told you before.
I mean, the rumours that's been flying around today that this could be Andy Reid's last game.
If he wins, what a way to go out.
I think he's good for the sport.
Oh, he's brilliant for the sport. Sitting there ordering his takeaway on his during his play calling sheet.
I mean, would any other coach tell Jake from State Farm that he threw moustaches on players?
No.
That's exactly.
He's
got a human side about him as well, which is good.
Yeah, Do you think, right, I'm looking at the form here. So the Chiefs have won the last 5 games, including the 2 regular season games. Eagles have lost 2 out of the last 5. Are they going to have a little bit of...
You need to remember, Hurts wasn't playing in those 2 games, though.
Yeah. We had Minshew. We had a little dose of Minshew mania, brother.
Minshew mania.
But do you think that's almost dented their confidence a little bit?
No.
Do you think the last 3 wins have done that one?
I think the fact that they've won their last 5 games with Hurts under center is what it is, rather than thinking about that. I don't want to say it, but shit show with Minshew.
I mean, people have said that the Eagles' record hasn't been brilliant. Eagles' opposition haven't been well this year. I mean, they beat the Vikings, who are there or there. They beat Jacksonville. They beat Washington twice. They've obviously beaten Green Bay. They beat Tennessee.
They
beat New York 3 times.
Can only beat what's put in front of you. You can only beat what's put in front of you.
obviously Kansas have had the harder run of fixtures. Do you think this harder run of fixtures is going to be more beneficial towards the Kansas Chiefs, for KC Chiefs, than it is for Philadelphia? Having a harder run, making you more battle hardened, and expecting everything to go wrong when it can go right.
I mean, I think every team has got their stars, no matter if you're the Texans, the Jets, some of the lower end teams, or the Niners and the Cowboys, for instance, some of the top end teams. You've all got their stars, so you're all playing against tough opposition week in, week out. And like Ollie said, you can only beat what's in front of you. We are in for a great game tonight between two unbelievably explosive offenses, and this is going to be a fantastic contest. But again, and I've always said it, it comes down to any given Sunday. Anybody can beat anybody on any day of the week.
All right, let's roll on top of it.
Can I say one quick thing? Winning is hard in the NFL, whether you're playing the Texans or the Chiefs. So I feel like every team's just as battle hardened as any other.
Yeah.
That is what I wanted to do. Is did you think that people are doing it? Right. Prediction times. We have now added on to the results for the divisional winners and the wildcard games. Mr. Perez is still leading. Typical.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so the predictions we need for this is I want the Super Bowl winner.
Okay.
Super Bowl MVP. The first scoring play. So whether it's field goal, run, pass.
Do we need to say who scores it?
No, just the type of play.
Okay.
And the team with the most yards. And I'm going to go to Mr. Hope first, as he's in last place.
Okay, so I'll take the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I will take Patrick Mahomes MVP. I will take a thrown touchdown pass as the first scoring play, and team with most yards, Kansas City Chiefs.
Shano.
I'm going to go in pretty much the opposite direction. I'm going to go for the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, mainly because I got money on that. I'm going to go for I'm going to go for Jalen Hurts to be the MVP because everyone's expecting him, and maybe the pressure will crumble him. And I expect a field goal to the first scoring play. And I think then I want to say the Eagles will have the most rushing yards, to be fair, because they got that two-prong quarterback system that they use, and I think that's.
Hold on. Is it rushing yards or just yards?
Total yards.
Oh, total yards. Oh, sorry. In which case? Sorry, the Chiefs. In which case?
Casey. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Right. I am going to go for KC for the win. I think the experience of more of this team will get there because they've been there more often recently. You know, their last Super Bowl was 2 years ago against Tampa. Eagles' last one was 2017, which I don't really want to talk about, against us.
Oh no! Let's talk about that fumble within the last 2 minutes.
No, I'm
not.
Let's
talk about that for 4 minutes.
Leave the boy alone.
Tom Brady dropped. Hey, he's already brought up our loss in 2019. I get at least one shot in 2017.
Straight for the fence.
So Tom Brady dropping the ball.
Yeah, it happened. MVP. I'm going to go for a Kelsey.
Okay.
Which one?
I'm going to go for Travis. I think this guy is going to go. I reckon he can get a couple of touchdowns and well over 100 yards. I think he's going to have an absolute game. I'm going to agree with you, Mr. Harris, and I think it's going to be a field goal for the first score. They're going to want to get points on the board.
Yeah.
Put the other team on the back foot, so they're always chasing. Most yards. I'm going to put Eagles purely because I just think Jalen Hurts can rush a lot better than Patrick Mahomes at the moment. He can throw the ball. He's got 2 brilliant targets, but I just think they might get picked off once or twice.
So no one's agreeing with Danny with McKinnon at MVP.
No, sorry, not taking Daddy at McKinnon MVP.
A very outside shot, but I like the sound of it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad score. What was it? He went 38-23. It's Chiefs win and McKinnon is MVP. So that must mean McKinnon must have had over 100 yards in the TD and a score at least.
Stranger things have happened, like Bolton winning a game, you know? Stranger things have happened.
Winning a game 5-0. McKinnon has been playing well recently, though, so we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Right. Shano, it is time for your specials, my friend.
Come on in. Let's do it for the last.
Favorite time of the show.
Oh, thank you, bud. Yeah, let's do it for the last time of the season then. These bets are available with Sky Bet at the moment. As always, please gamble responsibly. First one I'm going for is for the Eagles to rush for 2+ touchdowns is 11-8. And as I said, I'll go back to the two-pronged quarterback attack that they've got, Kenneth Gainwell and Miles Sanders. I think they're both incredibly explosive players. Go on.
I was going to say Jalen Hurts too.
Well, exactly, yeah. And you've got Jalen Hurts as well. So I think they're basically giving you money, 11-8. That's a bit of a high odd, but I think that's where the money is. And
also,
I've got another one.
The best teams of the quarterback sneak too.
Exactly.
What's the betting that their style of quarterback sneak gets stopped with the two running backs behind?
Ooh. I don't know, but that's a good shout. That'd be interesting to see if that does come off. And the next one then, again, we're going back to Miles Sanders to score a touchdown in the first quarter, 13-2. I think they're going to lean heavily on their running game, the Eagles, like the Ravens do when our players are fit. So they're going to lean heavily on that. That's 13-2. So that's pretty much 6.5-1. That's got to be worth £1. And I'm also going for a bit of an outside bet. Hear me out on this one. There's been some rumors and innuendo about the NFL apparently being scripted. Okay? and what I did find a picture, a leaked result of the Super Bowl would be the Eagles 34 and the Chiefs. No, pardon me, the Eagles 37 and the Chiefs 34, which is 150-1 with Sky Bet at the moment. That's got to be worth £1, surely. You know, and my last one then is I'm going to go with, as I said, I've got money on the Eagles to win. They are 5-6 with Sky Bet. I only stuck a tenner on it, but I think that's where the money is. So that's where the smart money is. Eagles are 5-6, and the Chiefs are evens. So that means £10 on, 20 quid back. That's completely up to you. This game is a massively close Super Bowl, both in odds and in predictions from ourselves. So, you know, have fun, enjoy yourself. Don't take it from me. Like I said, there's plenty of markets out there available. You do what you think is best. But as I said, please gamble responsibly.
I was about to say, please gamble responsibly, and if it's not fun, stop.
100%.
Yeah. You know, it's going to be a really good game. We have got... No, wrong one. We've got kickoff in 2.5 hours time here in the UK at 11:30 UK time. It is going to be brilliant. Enjoy your night, everyone. It is going to be a really good show. You know, it is the best turf on show, or the best show on turf.
Best show on turf.
Best show on turf.
Best turf on show.
Wherever you're watching, whatever you're doing it, have fun, stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow, Monday, 8:30 to review the Super Bowl 57.
23.5 hours. I can see all your faces twice in 24 hours. How lucky am I?
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe.
Have a good enjoy your night. Happy Super Bowl Sunday.